guys so much. Thank you. All right, before we begin, a public service announcement, because this has been happening at a lot of our rallies. Do not lock your knees while you're standing, because people pass out. People pass out. I just wanted you to know. Let me tell you how honored I am to be here. First of all, there is no one in America that is more courageous in fighting for the principles we believe in than the reigning champion of the Kansas caucus, Rick Santorum. And I want to thank him. I want to thank him for being a part of our campaign. He is a phenomenal, phenomenal leader. Someone who acts on his principles courageously, consistently, for a very long time. He didn't become a conservative a couple of years ago or 4 years ago. He's been doing this for a long time, and I am very grateful to him for his support and for coming here and being with us today. And I first heard about your governor when he was in the Senate. And then I heard about a lot when I got to the Senate. He wasn't there anymore. By then he had been governor. But he left behind a lot of friends who consistently talked about how this is a man who truly walked the walk in every aspect of his life. We are often criticized for allowing, in the popular culture, people say, oh, there should be separation between your faith and your politics. Well, you should hope not. Because our faith teaches us to care for one another. It teaches us that if we want to serve the Lord, we have to serve the less fortunate. You talk about someone that walks the walk in public policy, and someone who's courageous in doing that as well. It is your governor, and I am grateful to him for being honored by his support as well. And Susana Martinez, that meeting she had is the one we should be having with people all across this country. You want to talk about growing the conservative movement in the Republican Party? We need to do with more people what her great friends did with you. We want to thank your friends for bringing it to our side, because she embodies in her life, in her upbringing, and in what she's doing now as governor of New Mexico, what the conservative movement is about. The conservative movement is not about anger. The conservative movement is not about fear. We are realistic about the challenges we face in this country. We know, we don't need to be told every day, we know because we are living the difficulties of this time. But at its best, the conservative movement is about opportunity. At its best, the conservative movement is about the big dreams of our people. At its best, the conservative movement is about the values that shaped this country for over the last 2 centuries. At its best is what this conservative movement was all about 36 years ago, when Ronald Reagan became President of the United States in a time not unlike our own. Reagan became president in the aftermath of Jimmy Carter.
I would.
A disastrous president. The worst president of modern times until Barack Obama.
What if I just take my shirt off?
Didn't Barack Obama live here for a little while in Kansas City? He lived here for a few years. He did, yeah. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. Don't worry, Hawaii still claims him. I'm just saying that. All right, Chicago, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Ronald Reagan became president at a time that was not unlike this. Think about that moment. America's influence in the world seemed to be in decline. Our economy had flattened out. The term malaise had taken hold. There was a malaise among the American people. We had hostages in Tehran and felt helpless to do anything about it. And Reagan did not take advantage of our fears. He recognized what was going on in America, but he didn't say, elect me because I'm angry like you are. Elect me, I'm frustrated like you are. Elect me because you need to be fearful of other Americans. Ronald Reagan recognized the challenges that we faced, but he spent most of his time talking about the opportunities that awaited us if we rekindled the spirit of America. The time has come for us to do that in this country once again. Either the lights just dimmed or I'm really tired. Am I right? The lights dimmed? Okay. All right, good. And so now we face a similar circumstance. Times today are tough and they're difficult, and we have to decide two things. What will it mean to be a conservative in the 21st century? And what will America be like in the 21st century? What will it mean to be a conservative? Well, our principles don't change. We still believe in limited government and in free enterprise and in a strong national defense. And that's why our nominee must be a real and true conservative. Conservatism is not about how offensive you're willing to be. Conservatism is not about how many people you're willing to insult. Conservatism is not about how you talk. Conservative ideas that limited government works. If you elect me president, we are returning to limited government. When you elect me, conservatism will be about what it should always be about, following the Constitution.